Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of OverVoice Season 3, episode 40, and today we have the lovely Hussein Mohammed joining us today. Hussein, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, Vic. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me here. Honestly, it's really wonderful to talk to you again. Last time we spoke this way was on my podcast,
Yeah.
and it was really wonderful. It was an awesome episode. I'm pretty sure a lot of people really enjoyed it, and a lot of people have been watching the podcast the podcast that I've been making. Just a little more, because to introduce myself, I'm Hussein Mohammed. I am 19 years old. I have been a voice actor for 4 years. I am also a radio host, or I was actually I just left the station
Oh wow.
after a few months of work, but that's just because I want to focus so much on my voice acting and my
Mm.
creative endeavors. Um, and it was really that was a great experience. So yes, I am a voice actor. I've worked on video games. I've worked on anime. I have been in commercials. I'm also I have done interviews. I'm an interviewer, and I've done shows as well on the radio, and also working on an album right now, music.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Nice. Damn it, jack of all trades over here. But yeah, it's nice to
I'm trying it all.
yeah, but nice to get the run back. Last
Hmm.
time we did this was last year. I don't remember when exactly last year. I think it might have been like November, October. It was around late last year when we did the interview in your podcast. So yeah,
Mm.
it was a while
Yeah,
ago. I
it
actually
was. It was.
I re-listened slash rewatched it just before coming back on, so I'm still fresh off. So like I've heard your voice for like an hour before coming on here again.
Amazing.
So like
Amazing. I'm
so
glad.
like
Yeah.
so hell yeah, I am ready, man. But
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
but yeah, first and foremost, my first question to you is, how'd you get into voice acting, and what's your journey been like so far?
Oh man, I actually I recently wrote about this because I'm trying to get a TED Talk on TEDx at TEDx Baghdad.
Oh,
I actually attended earlier this year, or like a month ago, about a month ago, to TEDx Baghdad Women,
mm,
which was the speakers were only women, but the attendees were like everybody, like all genders. But then they're gonna do a bigger event, or like another event. The main event is going to be soon in the coming months, and I really want to be a speaker there. And I
mm.
actually wrote about this, about how I began. I began. I mean, my booth is right here in front of me. I'm not in it right now because it's so tight. It's so small. I have to get out of it. This is why the audio is not as perfect as I want it to be.
I
But
mean,
you know,
you're right in the middle of the water. Of course, it's up in the beam. So like,
Yes, sir. Yes, I mean, I can't be in my booth at the moment. I'm in Jordan over here enjoying the sun.
yeah, I'm just in front of my bodyguard. He's not the greatest audio
Uh,
in terms of soundproofing, but he's here. He's just chilling.
yeah, he's got charisma. That's what we need
Yeah,
here.
let's see if I can move
That's
his face. He's mogging the
yeah,
camera right now. Look at him.
going crazy, man.
Yeah,
But yeah,
ready.
yeah. I mean, thank you for that question. I mean, I started, in not even here. I actually didn't even start here in my booth.
Mm.
I started on the couch. I was
Mm.
15
Yeah.
years old. I was 15 years old. It was 2020, and I literally used to kneel in front of the couch, and have my phone in front of me and my laptop in front of me with the script, and I used to just like read the script on my phone, then send the file to my laptop, and then I slowly discovered, how to actually hook up my phone to the laptop and use it as a microphone. And then, I initially started off just doing research on voice acting, and I was really interested in it. It was at a time where um, I didn't really have much that I was doing. It was lockdown. There were
Mm.
also protests in my country, and it was a wild time. And so, I wanted to start something, something new, and learn about something new. And I really, I think I hit gold, and I started just researching, and I started practicing, and I started sending in auditions on this website, Casting Call Club, and I booked a few roles, obviously voluntary, for YouTube projects, small projects. It was really great, and the more I practiced, the more I got into it, the more I was like, I gotta actually get professional. I gotta get professional equipment, and I got professional equipment. I started recording in my closet, and from my closet, I booked video games. I booked an anime film. I booked national commercials here in Iraq, and I'm very grateful for where the point that I've gotten to, and it's I'm very thankful for the resources out there on the internet, man. That's really what helped me like get here.
Hell
It's
yeah.
what's cemented in my brain, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting because like a lot of people I've interviewed started around the pandemic during lockdown.
Hmm.
I started 2 years before the pandemic began, but I was also really young at the time. I was 16 when I was in 2018, and I was 18 by the time lockdown happened. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was a weird time, but like you hit the jackpot for real, man. You started out,
Yeah.
booked so much, did really well, still are doing
Hmm.
really well, to be fair. So like, dude, you hit the jackpot. Like you came at, I would say you came at like there's people usually it's uh, I'm just rambling right now, but like it's always like the perfect time to start. But it's different
Yeah.
for everybody. But I think when you started, it's legitimately like the perfect time to like start out. Like so much has
Because
like happened since.
specifically, not only just because it was like lockdown, it was like a time where it's the best thing to do, it's remote voice acting, but it's also because remote voice acting was just ramping up. It was just
Yeah.
actually becoming a standard as opposed to like a backup or something like that. It was
Yeah.
actually becoming a thing. And so when I got in, that was when things were ramping up. As you said, it was really amazing. It was an amazing time.
Yeah. And fucking booking anime, that's fucking sick, bro.
Yeah,
Let's
bro.
go.
Very grateful for my my colleague Shara Lynn. She sent me that audition. She was like, "Oh, these guys are looking for an Arab voice actor." I sent it in. Best thing that ever happened to me, honestly.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, did you end up watching the movie? Because you're in the journey with Hisham, right?
Oh yes, yes, yes. In the journey, the English dub of the journey, it has
Yeah.
actually a Japanese dub, an English dub, and an Arabic dub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was joint made by a Saudi Arabian production studio called Manga Productions, and also the Japanese studio Toei Animations.
Hmm.
And so, or Toei Animation. I'm not exactly if there's I'm sure if there's an S at the end of that. Um, it's either I think it's Toei Animation.
I think it's just Toei Animation, but if you just say
Yeah,
Toei,
yeah.
I think people will know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So it's all
yeah,
good.
the studio that made One Piece, this and
Yeah.
like worked on incredible anime projects, and so yeah, I did watch the movie. I actually watched the movie before I did the dub,
Mm,
and I gathered my scenes and I practiced them over and over and over and
good.
over again. Yeah, and I had the script ready. I had everything ready before the recording session. It was really amazing. I got to be in a scene with Christopher Judge. Like
Yeah.
at that point I still can't like I can't process that. I can't understand how big that is. Like I'm in a movie
Mm,
with like Hollywood stars, pretty much voice actors and
yeah.
actors
Because
that
so
are
like
huge.
because Alejandro Saab's in there, Christopher Sabat's in there, Christopher
Yes,
Judge you
sir.
mentioned before, Mr. Kratos himself. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible, and it was such an amazing opportunity. And I really got to thank, Bang
Mm,
Zoom. Like there's such wonderful people. I mean, of course, the studio that I also work with in the production side, but Bang Zoom did the casting, and
mm.
then the production was moved on to I think it was Sonic Vault actually. Sonic
Oh,
Vault.
yep.
Yeah, they're amazing people, Sonic Vault, but Bang Zoom, they were, Mami Okada, the casting director, everybody there that I worked with on the project. They were really wonderful. The casting process was amazing, and I hope to work with them again on future projects. They're really
Hell yeah, man.
fantastic.
Fingers crossed, bro.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you're
hell
in there,
yeah,
bro. So fingers
hell
crossed.
yeah, hell yeah, man.
But yeah, did you end up watching the movie with like your family and friends?
Actually, I don't think because my family doesn't really watch movies like that. I
Oh
would
yeah.
consider my only family to be my mother,
Mm.
like my close family, and she doesn't like to watch movies really.
Really interesting.
Yeah, and she doesn't go to the cinemas. She doesn't watch
Oh,
movies. She doesn't do any of that. And so, yeah, I never watched it with my mom, but I'm pretty sure a few of my friends watched it and they enjoyed my performance and
hell yeah. I'm
everyone
glad.
else's performance. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And we talked about
Yeah.
Christopher Judge before. He's Kratos, most famous for being Kratos. But
Hmm.
speaking of Kratos, I you got a little viral for being Kratos for a little bit. So
Yes, I did.
yeah,
Hmm.
like because I remember you posting that like And then I
Hmm.
think like a day afterwards just blew up. I'm like, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
understandably so, because like it's good. It's very good
Hmm.
impression to be fair.
Thank you.
So like yeah, what was I think from there like a lot of stuff has changed because I think you started getting bigger in like Instagram and TikTok as well around the same time
Yeah.
when that came out and more. So like
Mhm.
yeah, like since then, how has like the meme, kind of shaped things for you?
So it's really funny. It was an awesome situation. I went to this game jam here, basically a bunch of people getting together, making like it's a challenge to make a game in under like in a set amount of time. Like
Yeah.
it was 3 days that we had to make a game. I was the composer and voice
Mm,
actor for the game that they had.
nice.
And my voice acting and composition was not used in the final thing because it was so
Oh
little
man.
time that they didn't even have time. It wasn't even released. It was kind of a demo. But
Oh,
I
okay.
basically went to the event and I did a presentation. It was hilarious. I have it on my Instagram. It's like I was presenting a not even a half-baked game, like a game that barely had anything. And I was presenting it as this AAA game, and I caught people's attention. And then the organizer came up to me and it was like, we were talking. I was like talking about how I'm a voice actor and everything. He was like, can you do a Kratos impression? I was like, that's my specialty, man. And he was like, I have a video idea. And then he just got someone, he gave someone the phone. He was like, record us. And he told me basically like, do this. And I'm like, oh, we should do it this way because it's like basically there's these videos on TikTok, especially Iraqi TikTok,
Mm,
where it's just like random situation. It's just like a format. I don't know how to explain it specifically, but it's like Eastern TikToks.
mm.
Those it's more like real life focused, and it's more like acting
Yeah.
involved in it. It's that type of stuff. And so he basically bumps into me, and I go, "The hands of death could not defeat me. The sisters of fate could not hold me." And then do the whole speech to him, and then shout at him. And it was a really funny video. I thought it would go viral, but I just wanted to post it, and
Yeah.
I kept asking him for the video like over and over again because the event finished and he didn't send it to me. And I was like,
Ah.
"Hey, dude, can you send me the video? Can you send me the video?" And then he posted it on his story, and then he sent me the video.
Mm,
And I edited it before I posted it. I had to edit it. I had to add a few things. I added the music
yeah.
and the perfect timing because the thing is, the video would not have worked if I didn't do the editing specifically. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't add the music in that specific part, I mixed the audio also to make it sound more appealing. I didn't just post the raw video. And I removed some of the echo too. I'm pretty sure it's just I made it better. I knew it would do some numbers. And so after that, I posted it, and it did do some numbers. It went viral. I think now it's almost 300,000 likes on Instagram.
Oh damn.
Uh,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it is crazy. And on TikTok, it got like I think now maybe 2.5 million views. I'm not
Woo.
exactly sure. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I made a part two, and that didn't go as crazy. But then I made a few more videos, and they didn't go as crazy. But then I had a video. I was like, I'm just gonna do a Kratos impression straight up
Mm,
and do like a scene. And I kept doing that, and I kept like capitalizing, making stuff that I know people would like. And eventually I gained a lot of followers. I'm almost at 30,000 on Instagram
yeah.
and 56,000 on TikTok.
Hell yeah.
But that was amazing. I mean, I've been like at this point, I like at some point, I every day that I got out, like at the house, someone recognized me
Wow.
in the street.
That's
I was
insane.
recognized every time. Wherever I went, people like gave me weird looks. They're like, "Hey, I've seen this guy's face." And some people 100% recognize me. They're like, "Oh, you're the Iraqi Kratos." And I'm like, yes, sir, that's me." And they took a picture with me. I was literally going to the bank to
Oh
I
shit.
don't know, I forgot what I was doing. And then a guy came up to me and he was like holding money. And he was like, Zeus, Zeus, as in like Zeus. And I'm like, what the hell? What does this guy want? what I thought it was like trying to rob me or something. And then it was like, Can I please do a video with you?" And I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay,
that's so
sure, man."
sweet, man.
Yeah, it was so nice. It was so nice. And I have taken a pause from making those videos.
Not fair.
Yeah, I've been focused on other things, but I really do still want to do it. I still want to make stuff because I want to put myself out there. Obviously, not like first and foremost, it's fun content,
Yeah.
but obviously, I do want to put myself out there. I do want people to see the stuff that I'm doing. So yeah, that's why I want to keep doing it. Yeah.
When you mentioned going to the bank, I thought you were gonna say like the teller was like, "Oh my god, it's Kratos." It's like,
The teller would just be like, Kratos, I'm gonna deposit $1,000 in your
yeah,
bank account
exactly.
for
Give
your
me more money.
loyalty.
Exactly.
That would have been amazing, but unfortunately, it's not that easy for Kratos in the real world, man.
Damn it.
It's not that
I'd say it's
easy.
not even easy for Kratos in the games either. Like hell no.
Yeah, he's gone through it, man. He has gone through it.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember finishing Ragnarok, and then I went to watch the cutscenes of the trilogy of God of War, and I'm like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Fair enough, mate.
yeah. He's gone through it all, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really interesting because like when people hear like people outside the industry, they hear like voice actors like, oh, you're a voice actor, do this voice or something.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
literally what happened here. It was like, do this voice to Kratos, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
it fucking blew up. So like that's really
yeah.
interesting. You never know, man.
Yeah, man, it's really great. I mean, I've been practicing the voice since I was very young. Like I remember, I was like like when I was like maybe 7 or very young. I think under 10 years old or 10 years old,
What were
something
you
like that.
doing playing God of War when you were 7, bro? What the fuck?
I don't know. It's Iraq, bro. We're in Iraq. We're in Iraq. Everything goes. Everything goes. But yeah, I remember when I was super young. I used to like the videos, the games that couldn't even play. I used to watch it on YouTube. And so I remember I went up to my friend and I was like, "Hey, I want to do a Kratos impression." And my voice was like squeaky. I was a little kid. I used to call the restaurant to order food for my family because they were like, "Order us food." And I used to call and they used to go, "Hey, ma'am." They didn't even think
Hey,
I was a
man.
boy. They thought I was a woman. And so like my voice was very feminine. My voice was very I was very young and I still tried to do it. I was like, "Zeus, your son has returned." And my friend was like he was just like this. I'm so glad he was like and not like, "What are you doing?" Because
Yeah,
I think that kind of gave me even just the slightest push to keep going. And
yeah.
I love Kratos. So I'm glad he's what I'm being recognized for, you know?
You gotta order a pizza again and be like, yo, can I get a boneless pizza or some shit? I don't
Can I get a Spartan pizza, please?
know. You gotta get the run
Yeah.
back. Hopefully, I don't know if the person you called
Yeah.
will recognize you or if it's even there still, to be honest. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I think the restaurant was closed. I think I went by there like
oh
one
man,
time and I think they're closed, man. It's unfortunate.
oh, that's all
No
right.
more shawarma. No more shawarma from there, man.
What? No, that's fucked up.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
it's really interesting because like shit, my mom wouldn't let me watch Smosh. You got to play fucking God of War. That's crazy, bro.
My mom was too busy to care about what games I was playing. No, she cared, but she didn't really like pay too much attention. She like trusted me. That's the beautiful thing about like how my mom raised me. It's
Mm,
like she trusted me because she knew she was doing right by the things she was teaching me.
mm,
And so she trusted me to do a lot of things, and that trust kind of gave me the responsibility to be like, "Oh, this is right and this is wrong." I
yeah,
kind of understood at that age, thankfully. So yeah, I mean that's cool that I got to do that, but it's understandable if she didn't do that. I mean that's the
yeah,
same. It's the same principle, pretty much. Yeah,
yeah. I also wanted to ask as
yeah.
well. My next question to
Mhm.
you is apart from God of War, were there like any other video games, cartoons, or anime that got you like inspired to like take the voice acting plunge?
Mm. Honestly, when I was younger, I realized this like a few months ago when I was watching. I think it was my mom mentioned it. It was a cartoon when I was super young. It was about like the prophet and about like stories from the Quran and like those Bible stories that they do for cartoons like stuff like that. It was
Mm,
from stories from the Quran, and it was in Arabic and it was voice acted and it
mm,
was an amazing cartoon. The voice acting was fantastic. They had an amazing cast, and at the end of each episode, they used to have a reel where they show the voice actors in the booth doing the
Oh, cool.
voices. Dude, I think like I realized when I watched that again, I was like, "Oh my God. That's where it started. That's where the curiosity started. It was this cartoon. It was this religious cartoon that I was watching when I was younger. It was amazing voice actors. I was like, oh my God, the voice of this raven going or something like that. I was like, oh my God, this it's like a guy doing that. I want to do that, like subconsciously.
Mm,
And that I think that's the number one thing. I think it was like it was called like animal stories from the Quran. It was basically
mm.
like telling the story of like each animal, like how they're significant
Okay.
in the Quran or in the stories. It was really fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah, that
interesting.
was the number one thing I think that comes to mind for sure.
Your our inspos to me are actually really similar. Not in the
Hmm.
sense of mine was being in the Holy Quran. It was more quite the opposite. It was
Oh,
in fucking Chowder. I don't know if you
hmm.
got to see the show. But it's a really good show. I totally
Oh,
recommend.
Chowder?
Yeah, Chowder. Yeah, it's the
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
yeah, fucking
I think
love
I've seen
Chowder.
like I think my friends used to watch it. My friends used to talk about Cartoon Network all the time. They're like, "Oh
Mm.
my God, this show," and I didn't have it on my TV. I
Nah,
couldn't
man.
watch it. I was missing out, I guess.
Yeah, Chowder's up
Yeah.
there with like Ben 10 and like that's my jam.
Mm.
But with Chowder, there was like this episode where they spend so much money that they lost the money for the animation budget. So it just cuts to the room with the voice actors there. I was like, oh shit, those are actually people that do this shit. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, dude, that's kind of got what got me into it as well. So it's very similar in a way. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like small moments like that, man. It's like, oh, and like it gives you like a spark in your eyes. You're like, what? There's
Yeah.
people that do this, you know?
Yeah. You mentioned at the
It's really
start,
amazing.
you mentioned at the
Hmm.
start of potentially doing a TED talk. Like,
Hmm.
that's fucking amazing, dude. Like, goddamn.
I
Like,
really want to do it. I mean, I sent in an idea before, and they had me, and they said they wanted to do it, but I think they passed on that idea. The idea
yeah.
initially was art education in Iraq, basically
Mm,
talking about how art is like ignored in our curriculum and everything like that, how important that is.
yeah.
And then now I've kind of reframed it into just telling my story and
Mm,
how people can learn from how I started, because a lot of people have these creative ideas, people have these creative fields they want to get into, or not even creative, just like they have a passion or like an idea that they want to execute or something they want to learn, but they don't know exactly how to go about it, and they
mm,
think that they have to go about it a certain way or whatever. And I'm just basically I want to get on stage and talk about my story and tell how
mm.
basically you can do it however you want to do it. You just have to do the research and put in the work,
Yeah.
and doing it your way is the best way. But like basically that's kind of the way about it. Tell my story and give what I learned from my journey,
Yeah.
basically.
That's really incredible,
Yeah,
man. I
yeah.
gotta ask as well, because
Mhm.
like doing a TED talk in of itself is like for me that sounds terrifying.
It
But like
is.
for you, I imagine you're kind of used to like speaking in public a lot of the time. So like yeah, I gotta ask, like, what do you kind of do to like overcome like that sort of fear of public speaking,
Mm.
or like because with all those eyes on you all at once when you're talking.
Yeah, let me tell you my story with public speaking and being on stage. Just a quick summary of events on how I kind of got to be more familiar with the stage is the first time that I really got on stage was pretty much when I was in 2022 when I was doing the English Language Olympics. I think I've spoken to you about this. Um, I was doing the English Language Olympics, and I had to do a theatrical. We had to do a theatrical act, and I wrote a theatrical act. I did the script, I directed it, I acted in it, and we got on stage the first time in front of like an all Iraqi audience in Baghdad. We were just doing a small stage thing before the actual event. And then we did it in front of the judges, and they really enjoyed
Mm,
my performance. The first time that I got on stage and did the acting, the first time I did it, I wasn't really scared. I just don't think about it. Like
yeah.
I don't think about anything. I just say there's people that are going to watch. There's the actor that's going to be in front of me. My friend is going to be in front of me doing his part. I'm gonna be on stage, and all I gotta do is just do what I know. Like this is something that I do with everything. For example, I'm working on music right now. My friend is like, dude, you gotta learn music theory right now. You gotta
Music
do this.
theory.
Yeah, because no, it's actually really important if you want to produce good music, you want to
Mm,
write good chords, you want to do good melodies. You gotta have music theory.
mm,
But the thing is, I'm like, no, because I should. I know I should. I know I should learn music theory. But for me, it's this kind of fearlessness where I'm like, I'll just do it from what I've learned, from what I know. And if it doesn't turn out well, then okay, maybe I have to learn music theory. But then if it's not as instinctual as I want it to be, then maybe I shouldn't be doing it right now. That's my thought. Like if I get on stage and I'm like I'm so bad at it that the people won't let it pass somehow, then maybe this isn't for me, or maybe I should learn something. But the fact that I can get on stage, deliver a performance, and people can enjoy it or people can appreciate it, and I know that, then I'm like, okay, why should I
mm.
be scared? I can deliver something, I can give something. So I have nothing to fear. I have
Yeah.
something to give. People are here to receive something, which is a show, which is a good show. And
Yeah.
so I'm just here. I'm just here to give that. That's
Yeah.
my mindset going into it. And that's been the way it is when I did radio, when I started doing live radio shows. Um, yeah, I get live on air. I go live on air and I talk about stuff and I get callers and it's a lot of thinking and it's you got to be on your feet because sometimes someone says something out of the blue. One guy got on the bro. I don't know if I can even tell, bro. One guy got called and he was like, one girl called and she was talking about the guy, the mustache man from the World War II, and
Oh,
she was
yeah.
like,
Mm, yeah.
and she was talking about how it was terrible. She was like, he
Yeah.
should come back and finish the job.
Oh
That's what she
no.
said.
Oh no.
It was so bad. And I was like, how do I, and you have to think on your feet, how do you save this?
You
And,
can't. You
and,
can't
and
save
I,
that.
yeah, you can't save it. So I just kind of like brush over and be like, okay, okay. And then I talk about something else because
It's
that's
like,
all you can do.
yeah, it's like what a beautiful wall over there. It's
Yeah,
great.
and I've learned to be quick on my feet because of being on radio. I've learned to just be able to respond quickly and be able to delve into a subject more deeply quicker.
Mm,
It's really helped me do my improv like with
yeah.
my improv a lot.
It's all you
It
can
has
really
helped me a
do is
lot.
just get out there and do it and see if
Yeah.
it works. And like failure is a really good teacher. Like it sucks if you're, but like it does suck. But like if you're scared of failure, then it will suck more. But if you just don't think about it, then it'll be like,
Mhm.
oh, didn't work. Okay, let's just move on. Plus, also, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't think you gotta worry about music theory. I think you'll be fine, dude. Like fucking the fucking Island Boys. I don't think the Island Boys did music theory, and they're doing fine. Well, actually, I don't know. They're probably not. But but yeah, I think you'll be fine, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like doing it instinctually, and I just like working on it as is,
Yeah.
and just giving what I have, and so I'll see. Maybe at some point I'll be like, oh darn it, I don't know how to write these chords. I guess I gotta go to that doggone music theory. You
Yeah.
know, I probably will one day. Yeah.
So Hussein, tell me more about
Yes.
your time as a radio host.
Ooh, man. So basically, how I got the job initially was I saw, I was on Instagram. I was on my personal account, and one of my friends posted a story of their friend being interviewed at the station. And they were being interviewed for this English like learning program called ILIP. It's basically like an exchange program.
Mm.
And I was like, this person is being interviewed and I'm not being interviewed? Hold on, give me a minute. And I immediately hit up the station. I was like, hey, I do this my work and things like that. Would you guys like to do an interview? And they hit me back and they're like, yeah, sure. That's awesome. Let's schedule an interview. And we scheduled an interview. This was back in December
Mm.
of 2023. And basically they did an interview about me for voice with me for about voice acting,
Mm.
and it was fantastic. I have it on the Hussein Mohammed podcast channel. Check it out right now.
Hell yeah.
It's yeah. Initially they actually posted it with audio issues. There's an audio issue. The
Oh,
camera is like this. It was really weird.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the video had like buzzing for some reason. But in my version on my channel, I uploaded it like clean and everything. I cleaned it up a little bit, and I uploaded it. But the original upload is fine, but it's just got a little bit of a buzzing noise. But anyway, other than that, I got an interview with them, and I was like, you know what, this radio thing, I kind of think I can do it. And so, I just, but I left it. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go back and do this because I was doing my voice acting stuff still. I was trying to get back into it, because back in 2023, pretty much the third to fourth quarter of 2023, I was trying to get back on my feet as a voice actor because I had taken a hiatus because I was studying for my last year in high school,
Mm.
and so I was trying to get back on my feet and. But anyway, yeah, I didn't really think too much of it. But then I followed them and everything, and they did a workshop, a free workshop, and basically the person who like finished, who was the best at the workshop, I think they wanted to be a radio host.
Mm,
Um,
interesting.
and so I went there with my friend. He's a musician. He's actually on the first episode of my podcast. He's Abrar. His name is Abrar. And we went there and we met two other cool people. And one of the radio hosts there, Ibrahim, was the one doing the workshop, basically teaching us everything. It was basically like a media basics workshop, teaching you
Mm.
how to, like journalism, how to write an article, things like that. And at the end, there was a practical test where they would have each of us run the show with them, do the show with them,
Oh,
like do one
cool.
of the shows with them. Yeah, and it was really, really amazing. It was really fun. And so, everyone did it, and I did it also. And deep inside, I knew I was like, I'm definitely getting this job. But like,
Oh
I
yeah.
knew it. Yeah. And so, they contacted me. They're like, oh, hey, we want to talk to you about being a radio host. We wanna do an interview, like interview you. And I was like, amazing, cool, yes, yes, let's do it. And I went back to them, and we spoke about everything. And I started working part time there as an employee, 3 days a week. As a
Mm.
radio host, the work is actually starts very early. It's very unorthodox because they have a morning show.
Mm. Yeah.
So basically, the show starts at the morning dose, they call it. The morning dose starts at 7:30 a.m.
Hmm.
and ends at 9 a.m. They actually
Okay.
extended it for a month. I think they extended to 9:30, so it was 2 hours.
Mm.
And then basically after the morning dose, there's the afternoon show, or as it's called, airwaves. That is from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. By the way, to anyone curious, the radio station is 195.7 FM. Basically, they're an Iraqi radio station. They play English music though.
Mm.
The shows are all in English also. They help people who are learning the English language. It's really amazing. Like what they do, and the callers are fantastic. They're all wonderful English speakers. And yeah, basically the shows. I go to work at 7:30 a.m. And I like stop working at 4 p.m.
Mm.
And so it's about 9 hours every day.
Yeah.
But the thing that really impeded, my work schedule was the fact that I had to go, basically the road to and from was an hour and a half. Like basically
Mm.
to,
Yeah.
I had to go an hour and a half, and then from was an hour and a half back home. So it
Yeah.
was 3 hours every day just spent like in public transport, Iraqi public transport, crammed with a bunch of people in like very hot weather,
Yeah.
no air conditioning, nothing. It was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, it was really,
I was
really
gonna.
tough.
I'm gonna ask. Is the five
Yeah.
o'clock like traffic on the way back home also really long as well?
Well, actually, thankfully, well, actually, at the start, it was
Mm.
long. It was very, very tough. It was very tough. It wasn't an hour and a half. It was like 2 hours back to go back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really tough. Then I figured out a better way, like a better line, basically like a better road to go through,
Yeah.
rather than the more crowded one. And it was still a lot of traffic jams. It was still a
Yeah.
lot of traffic jams
Oh,
because
I
Baghdad is a
also
very busy city. Yeah.
I was gonna ask as well because I've been to India a couple times.
Hmm.
Totally different from Iraq.
Yeah.
But like I know the driving is fucking nuts. Like there's no such thing as
Mm.
road rules over there. You pretty much drive to survive all the time. So like
Hmm.
what's it like in Iraq? Like the driving over there?
It's definitely not as bad as India, but it
Thank
is
God. Okay,
similar.
good,
It is
good.
similar. It is
Oh, okay.
similar, actually. It is like pretty like now finally road rules are kind of being enforced. Like they're
Good. Thank
finally
God.
there's actual speed cameras and
Mm,
the speed cameras take pictures of everyone passing through to see if you're wearing a seatbelt. And people
good.
hated that. People were like, "I gotta
Really?
wear a seatbelt? Are you kidding me?" And like, yeah, people were going crazy about that a
Interesting.
little bit, but yeah, but no, no. Now they're getting used to it. But yeah, I say this. This is mainly in Baghdad. The other cities, the other, it's still being rolled out. It's like a rollout right now. Road like actual law enforcement rollout happening right now in Iraq. And basically, what was I saying? I was getting into. This is something that I said one time. I said to cross the street in Iraq, you have to be a professional pedestrian. You have to pretty
Interesting.
like yeah, because there's no such thing as like, oh, people cross the road at like the cross what's a crosswalk. No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. But you just cross the road wherever you want. Just cross the road wherever you
Not
want,
good.
and the drivers have to account for that. People cross the street at highways. It's insane. It is insane. And so yeah, that's basically it in Iraq. It's not
Yeah.
as bad as India because India is just more like all that.
Yeah,
But we
to be fair, there's a
Mhm.
billion of us, so like I can understand why
Yeah.
it's like that, but it is like being in traffic because I don't drive in India, thank God for that. But I usually
Hmm.
sit passenger. It's like a roller coaster, you know. It's which is
Yeah.
actually kind of fun being not driving, you know. But like I would not because my dad used to drive in India, and like I
Yeah.
get why he drives like the way he does in New Zealand because it's like
Yeah.
because he drives recklessly here as well. But I imagine but I know where it came from, so like it's all right. I get it.
Yeah, bus drivers here are the same. If you're sitting a passenger in like one of the public transport vehicles, my brother, they are doing some of these crazy maneuvers. They're
Yeah,
stopping at random place. It's insane. It's crazy.
I
Yeah,
remember
so yeah.
I remember going
Hmm.
to Cambodia a while ago, and their road rules is actually really good. It's actually fairly all right. Compared to
Mm.
India and Iraq, it's much better than what I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be. But we ended up getting in these taxi vehicles called tuk-tuks. I think they might be called autos in India. They kind of look
Mm.
like big, look like little small tractor things. Um,
Well,
um,
oh yeah, I've seen those. We have those and we have tuk-tuks here
yes.
also.
Okay, so you know what tuk-tuks
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So we ended up us and like a few of us in the we decided to take different tuk-tuks to get back to the hotel we were staying at. We decided to go for
Hmm.
tuk-tuk races to get there. And the guy, big up my guy, like I forgot what his name was, but he's a really cool driver. I respect him so much
Hmm.
because bro actually drove on the fucking pathway just to get a leg up to get us
Oh my
ahead.
God, bro.
Bro risked it all. I had no reason to. And he was able to get away with it. He was really good with it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've seen motorbikes drive
Mm,
on the sidewalk. Like
Jesus.
they have nobody gives a shit here, bro. Nobody. Yeah.
Motorcycles I can understand because they're kind of slim enough to fit, but the whole ass tuk-tuk to just to get
Yeah,
a fucking leg up, that is insane. I thought I was gonna
it
die, but
is.
like Jesus Christ, it was a lot of fun. I'm going back. I'm going back. If I find him, I'm
Mhm.
thanking him and all that. Jesus Christ, God
Yeah,
damn.
that's
Because
amazing, man.
after we finished, we took him inside the hotel and dapped him up and gave him a drink. Not like alcoholic drink because he still had to drive. It was more like a
Yeah.
free water or something. And like,
Hmm.
damn, like good job, man. Like you did too much for us, you know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. That's
um
awesome, man. Hmm.
yeah. What's like the food and the nightlife in Iraq like?
Ooh, I would say, I mean, the food here is nice. Most people like the casual thing is if you like street food is like falafel. You'd
Yeah.
get a falafel sandwich. You'd get a shawarma.
Mm.
There's big like skewers that people have, and it's just like a guy and like the fire is roasting them, and then just a guy with a knife goes
Oh
and he
yeah,
just
the
puts
this is it's kind of similar to like a spit roast, but like it's a big
yeah
slab of meat through like a little metal pole. and they have like a huge ass
Exactly.
knife.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And a guy just like gets it for you. It's really nice. And as for like restaurants, there, we have fast food,
Mm,
obviously here, and we have other stuff also. But you know, mostly people here get fast food. There's actually some restaurants also from other countries, like some Syrian restaurants.
mm,
There's an Egyptian restaurant that my mom and I go to when we go out usually. So it's really
nice.
nice. They sell the food is amazing, and the nightlife actually Baghdad. You know, specifically, I don't know about the rest of Iraq, but I'm pretty sure a lot of places in Iraq can relate. But Baghdad, especially, the nightlife here is very alive. You know,
Nice.
it's very very lively. People stay up to like you. The streets are filled until like 1, 2 a.m. With
Nice.
people. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. You can find cars still. People go out. People have fun, especially
That's
on the
good.
weekends.
That's
Yeah,
good to
yeah.
hear. Hell yeah. Do you ever like
Hell yeah,
this
man.
is I felt like this is a really stupid ass joke. Do you ever like, hey, yo, what's up, girl? Wanna back that ass up?
You want to back that ass up at 2 a.m. with a bunch of other people going around?
Yeah, man. Especially like, hey girl, you from Iraq? Cause you wanna bag that ass up.
That's actually a good. I've never thought of that. That's a good ass line, man. That is a
But dude,
good.
please do not fucking use that. You're gonna get beat up in the streets, bro.
True, 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 true. Yeah.
Oh my god. That was so
That's
stupid.
that's good. That's like you can text that to your significant other perhaps if
Oh,
you're in
okay.
Iraqi. I think that'll be funny. That'll
Hell
be
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah, you mentioned before making music, so I'm guessing like that's
Mhm.
something you've been interested in a while. So what kind of music do you make?
Oh yeah, I pretty much my inspirations. We've spoken about this on the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
This name's gonna send echoes through this podcast. This is people don't dislike this guy for very good reasons actually.
Oh yeah, people do.
Kanye West, my biggest inspiration in music. For me, I'm the type of person I take just the good side. I take the positive. And
Mhm.
the thing is, Kanye has very good positive and terrible negative.
Yeah,
Like
so
he
pretty much
is
yeah, pre Kim K Kanye, let's say. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's say yeah, definitely that. And even post Kim K, he had like he still has positive there, obviously, but you know a
Yeah.
lot of negative. But
Yeah.
I like to take the positive from everything. You know, I'm a person. No matter what the situation is, if I'm going through a terrible breakup, if you know I lose something in my life or lose someone, I try just to take a lesson from it or to see
Yeah.
where it fits in my life. And I feel like I've learned a lot of lessons from just a lot of positive from the inspirational things that he's spoken about, the mindset, his success story. Really, that's stuff that I take from. But in terms of inspiration for music, he is definitely my number one inspiration.
Mm.
You know, sampling. I'm a big fan of sampling music, but mostly it's just the sounds and the hip hop sound and the bending of the hip hop sound is what I enjoy. I enjoy like experimental sounds. I enjoy abrasive, more experimental hip hop. Um, Things like that. Also more classic stuff. I still enjoy classic beats, but I like it when it's like flavored, you know, like switched
Yeah.
up. And so, you know, I started off making music. Um, I would say maybe my first beat I think I made was in April
Mm.
2023. I was taking a hiatus from voice acting. I was studying for my final exams, my final year of high school. I was still making music. I was still like I really got to pick something up to still keep me going, something artistic. And I just started making music and I kept practicing, I kept practicing. And the height of my music making, the most music that I made was literally during my exams. I started
Mm.
making during my final exams. It was so stressful. Everyone was revising and I was making music.
Mm.
I was making music. I was making tracks that I will use for my album still. There are
Mm.
still tracks that I want to use. And I was making tracks and I was sending them to my friends and they were like, "Dude, what are you I can't listen to this right now. And I'm like, but it's cool. And they're like, bro, I'm studying right now. Go study.
Bro,
It
so you're
was
like
it was
these are the lo-fi study beats.
yeah, it wasn't even lo-fi. It was like it was sampling. It was some of it was like abrasive. Some of it was crazy sounding. Guitars, like distorted stuff. It was wild. And I was sending them to my friends, and it was such a stressful time period in my life. But music saved me. Really, it did.
Mm.
I'm still making music. If I have an idea, for example, Kanye just released his new album, Vultures 2,
Oh yeah.
the other day. It's a lot of people are saying it's really bad. It has some
Mm.
really bad, like just bad choices all around.
Oh no.
It's a lot of lazy choices. I'm a huge Kanye fan. It was lazy.
Damn.
It was lazy, in a lot of ways. But I took one of the songs there and I took the vocals for Kanye's vocals and I made a whole new beat and I like switched it up because I had an idea in my head. So I had an idea in my head and I wanted to execute it. And then this beat that I made for this edit of the song, I'm going to use it for my album because
Yeah.
I thought it was like a really good beat. And so like stuff like that is just yeah, just hip hop basically. I also like uh, hip hop when it's singing, also a bit of the R&B side of it. I
Yeah.
also enjoy. So yeah, it's like a mix of that. That's the kind of music that I make.
Hell yeah. You mentioned
Yeah.
making an album. When do you reckon when do you
The power
reckon
the power has cut off, so I'm sorry if I look like I'm gonna look like I'm in the bat cave right now.
Nah,
Yeah.
you're all good. Because you mentioned making an album before.
hmm
So like in terms of like releasing like the album like a full like set,
hmm
do you have like a sort of time frame you want to make that in, or is it just
mm
the when it's all done, whenever that'll be?
So definitely my album creation pipeline, my album creation timeline, or how I make it, or the process. I definitely took it from Kanye.
Yeah.
Definitely 100%. He has a lot of unreleased music and
Mm.
a lot of leaked music, and it gives you a huge insight into how he creates his songs and what the process is. And I've been really inspired by his process, and I have a very specific process. It's very specific,
Mm.
and basically it's creating the music, but definitely, I think definitely this year I want it to be released. I think might be around October that I start rolling it out. Might be
Nice. Hell
around
yeah.
then. Yeah, but right now I have 14 tracks with vocals laid
Oh,
down.
that's very good.
Um, yeah, vocals laid down, but not, for example, okay, so just let me briefly explain the process if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, so basically, uh, I start off with making an instrumental. I just make an instrumental. And then if it's something that I like, I have basically a huge library. I've been making instrumentals for about a year now. And so I took a lot of those. I picked a lot like the very good ones and I put them in a track list. And then what I go do is I get in the studio and I record something that is called a freestyle or a mumble reference. Basically, I just get in there. What Kanye does is he gets in there and he just does a flow. Like for
Mm.
example, here's a beat and it goes dun something like he does a flow on the beat, and then after it, like he has a track with like that sort of flow, he writes to that
Mm.
flow. He writes lyrics to that flow. Or he actually also his process is huge. He gets other artists to do those mumble takes, and he writes, and then they write a thing, and then he writes it. It's a
Oh, that's
huge
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wild process. It's amazing. But I do like basically the more personal thing, which the more smaller thing, which is just me, and I just get in there and I write the lyrics to it, and then I basically record it again, and then it's about the sequencing and everything. So I have only one track that is really finished. I have like three verses in scattered tracks, and the rest are just mumble references.
Yeah.
And I'm working on writing lyrics for them and
Mm.
possibly adding even more tracks. I'm thinking of making something
Yeah.
maybe like about 20 tracks long.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty packed album. Looking forward to
Thank you. Yeah,
release.
yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know how much I'm gonna use of it. Like it's a process definitely, and things
Yeah.
change throughout the creation process for sure. Yeah.
It's really interesting you mentioned Kanye because
Mhm,
I'm admittedly I don't have a lot of Kanye songs, nor do I listen to Kanye a lot because
mhm.
I have a lot of hip hop and rap stuff, but I don't listen to it compared to like the other music I listen to, which you probably know of. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
it's more metal rock and stuff like that. But Kanye, it's really interesting. My favorite song from Kanye is technically an unreleased slash leak song, but the
Mhm,
thing is, if it does release publicly, it's bad because like it's what's the name of the song?
Oh,
You know
I
what I'm
know
talking
it. I know
you
it.
know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? It's like
it's Never See Me Again, right?
yeah, it's that one. Yeah, I love that song,
Yeah.
man. But like, it's good. I really like that song. But like, it's I don't think I don't wish death upon anybody. So like, I hope he never
Yeah.
releases that song. I want it to be stay leaked for now.
Yeah,
But
I mean, the story of they say it's a letter. It's like,
yeah,
oh, if like either retirement or he does something to hurt himself, which is,
yeah.
that. The thing is that is just a theory. Actually,
Yeah.
it's not confirmed. It's
Okay,
not
good,
confirmed that,
good.
that's yeah, yeah. Like the song actually underwent a lot of transformations and has a lot of versions where like the chorus is more happy,
Yeah.
and also the song transfer it was Never See Me Again, or it was there's another title for it, which is just See Me Again. But it actually, a lot of the elements from that song were used in a song that is called, that Kanye did release on Good Fridays. It's not on streaming, but it's on, when he was rolling out his album in 2010, he
Yeah.
released a bunch of singles. One of them is called See Me Now. And it's
Oh, okay.
basically the happy version of it. It's like, see me now, I'm here, I'm up, you know?
I'll have to listen
So
to it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we don't. I mean, it was actually, and that song was also brought back for Donda, which is in
Mm,
2021. So
yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna do with it. Maybe he's gonna do something with
Maybe.
it. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fan favorite for sure.
Because if you wanna go by songs that he technically has released, my favorite is probably Heartless, probably still.
Mm,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
it's my brother's favorite song as well. He introduced it to me because he's
Mhm.
more hip hop into that sort of scene. So I was like, okay, this is actually this fucks. This is good. This is good
Yeah,
shit.
it's good. 808s and Heartbreak. The entire album is my second favorite album of all time.
Which album is that one? Is that is on Graduation? Is it Graduation?
No, no, it's Heartless is on 808s and Heartbreak, which
Mm,
is 2008.
okay, yeah.
Graduation is 2007. Yeah,
Oh, okay, so just the year before, after.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm,
hell yeah.
mm-hmm,
But Hussein, my last
hmm.
question to you, man, is what uh, what keeps you going, man?
What keeps me going? Honestly, for a while, it's been just thinking of like the things that I have to achieve. I mean, my mom went through a lot in her life,
Mm,
and we went through a lot of trouble the past 4 years. It was very stressful. It was very tiring. Very low moments we've had. It was so much, and now we finally are in a place that is more stable, much more
okay.
stable than we've ever been. And what has kept me going, or what the thought has been, or what I really want to do is I want to just make our life better. Like I just want to get us to a better point to where we can do more of the things that we want to do,
Yeah.
and uh, to just be more secure. For example, right now, I don't even have my own room. I don't have my own room. I record my studio is in my mom's room. I
Mm,
sleep on the living room couch. I don't have the liberties or freedoms that I want to have in terms of like recording whenever I want, things like that.
mm,
And that still causes trouble for me sometimes. Uh, because my mom she's getting older now. She
mm.
wants to relax in her room. She wants to
Yeah.
sleep. Sometimes I can't just take the room for myself. And so there's a lot of those smaller things. And
Yeah.
also now that we're on the outskirts of the city, we want to be more inside. We want to just have more security in that way. So that's what really keeps me going is finding that. And also when it comes to making music and those other things, it's just, I'm trying to find happiness, and I'm trying to also make an inspirational impact. The reason that I want to do the TED Talk, okay, sure, I want to put myself out there. I want people to see me, but also definitely a huge part of it, and a huge part that's growing inside of me now that I really want to contribute and really want to give is inspiration to people. I
Mm,
really want to show people that there's anything that they have in their mind, they they can do it. It can be done, and I do want to leave a positive impact
yeah.
on just people like me and people who want to do things that are cool, and
Yeah.
and want to make change. That's really the people that I want to inspire, and the people that I want to be around, really.
Mm.
So yeah, that's what keeps me going for sure. Yeah,
That's beautiful, man. Like
thank you.
I didn't know much about your mom before, but like
Mm,
knowing that you're doing this for her and you're in it together, it's really
thank you.
I hope your mom lives for a very long time and she's able
Thank
to see just how far you've come, how far you're going. You still have a long way to go. I'll have you know, you're 19. So
Yes,
like
sir.
I trust me I'm 22, so I'm not that older than you. But
Mm.
you've got a long way to go, and like in a good way. There's so much more. Like possibilities have opened so much. It really does change once you like hit like the 20s, and then things just happen. As you may or may not know. For me, exactly, it's like 2024 has been the healing arc for sure. Goddamn, at least for
Hmm.
me specifically. But dude, you've got so much time, and I know that you're gonna cherish that time with you and your mom and your friends. It's gonna be great. So just
Thank you,
keep
man.
going.
And I want to say I'm really proud of you of how far you've come, man.
Oh,
It's
thank you,
it's really
bro.
amazing just seeing just hearing how you've been improving and how you've gone on a journey to change things for the better for yourself and everything like that. It just makes me so happy, and I really wish you the best. I wish you the best health. I wish you happiness, man. You're really wonderful, and I wish you all the success for real, man. I really really appreciate you as a friend, you
No,
know.
thank you, man. Because we
Of
met
course.
back a while ago. I don't even know how we ended up meeting. Because we met. It was weird because I think it was when you started making podcasts at the time. It was like, hey, I would love to be on. And I think we just started speaking
Oh
a
yeah.
while, kind of like back and forth, way before I was actually
Yeah.
brought on. So it was weird how we actually started speaking. It was interesting. But
Yeah, it
dude,
was very, very
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. But dude, thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're
Look at
very
us
welcome. Thank you.
look at us being wholesome here. This is great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah,
Let's
on that
go.
but yeah, on that note, this interview comes to a close. Zane, thank you
Hmm.
so much for coming on, man. You've been an absolute pleasure, bro.
You're very welcome, man. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
It took a while, but we finally got the run back, so
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
hell yeah.
We did it.
But yeah,
Hmm.
Hussein, where can people find you on social media and all that?
You can find me at HSE_VO, or you can listen if you want to listen to my podcast. It's at Hussein Mohammed Podcast. And if you want to listen to my music, there's going to be upcoming music. I mean, on SoundCloud already, there's some beats that I've released, and also one song where I'm rapping,
Mm,
that I released a while ago, called NGF,
mm.
title undetermined.
Okay.
And yeah, it's if you want to listen to that, my name for music is going to be Sane, SAYN.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
s-
I like that.
yeah, and my at is going to be at your sane. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah. So that's where you can find my music stuff, but not much there. But if you want to listen to it on SoundCloud, also the YouTube channel, I released a few like remixes and
Mm,
things like that. It's also at your sane.
mm.
So yeah. Thank you so much, Vic. I really appreciate the opportunity, man.
No worries, man. I hope you make an album called Sane in the Membrane. That would be great.
Someone told me to make it insane. Someone told me to name it that. It's actually
Mm,
gonna be the name is gonna be, I think, Hussein, as in Hussein, and who's sane? Who
yeah.
who is me?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
would be,
like
I think, an
it's
interesting.
gonna be like Slim Shady. You got Hussein, Insane, and
Yeah.
Sane. You've got like all these characters. Hell yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch of characters. That'd be funny, honestly, honey.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah, thank
Yeah.
you again for so much for coming on. This is episode 40, man. I can't believe we're fucking
Hmm.
40 episodes. This is crazy. This season's been insane so far. We're almost, as of
Yes,
recording
sir.
this, we are almost done. It's so weird to say, but we're almost done for the season.
Wow.
But yeah, I can't wait for the next episodes. I can't wait for this to release. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, thank you so much again for coming on and changing the
of
background.
course.
For God, this is the first time this has happened before. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's
We
40.
got the Jordan.
Yeah, man, episode 40 special, bro. We gotta make it.
Yes,
We gotta.
sir.
Hell yeah,
We gotta make it pretty. We gotta make it pretty right here.
exactly. We gotta make it pretty. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
thank you again for coming on, and thank you
Of
guys so
course.
much for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye, everybody.